It appears that you have posted a lengthy passage that offers advice on how to be better than 99% of the world's population based on insights from neuroscience and behavior. I'll provide a punctuated version to make it easier to read and understand. You have to do what 99% of people don't do if you want to be better than 99% of people on the earth. This quote may sound like a cliche you'd find on the back of a truck, on your grandmother's Instagram post, or even on your aunt sharing those cutesy good morning butterfly photos and statements from Clarice Lispector with some motivational words. Although it's a statement that makes statistical sense, they are frequently not even her words. It's not difficult to be better than 99% of the people in the world, despite what you might think. You make things more difficult. When in reality, being better than 99% of people in the world only takes a few steps, many people try to sell you incredibly complicated and elaborate solutions for this. Based on behavior and neuroscience, I will demonstrate to you in this video what you must do to do better than 99% of the world's population. As long as you acknowledge this development and use it to keep inspired by the process itself rather of focusing simply on the outcome, once you engage in this process, your growth is likely to happen. Many people begin working out with the intention of achieving a certain physique, but at the end of the second day, they are sore and lack the arm of the athlete they look up to. Many people start a diet and think they'll achieve their ideal body in 5 or 6 days. Many people begin studying assiduously but are unable to maintain this behavior for very long. One thing all of these people have in common is their relentless pursuit of success. You must shift your focus to the process even though results are important. The process, once engaged, produces motivation, allowing your performance to be maintained over time. I'll provide you with certain steps and insights in this video that, if put into practice, I think will be beneficial to you. Don't pass up the opportunity to use Stoic ideals to overcome obstacles in life. Discover how to cultivate serenity in the face of chaos, make better judgments, and rise above hardship with mental strength by downloading the Stoic Mindset booklet right away. Proceed to embark on your wisdom journey by clicking on the link found in the first pinned comment. Step 1. Learning to control your stress looks like an interesting first step. The lead risk factor for mental health disorders is stress. It's not generally the intellectual person who gets the furthest. Rather, it's the person with superior emotional control. You must therefore maintain emotional control if you wish to do better than 99% of the world's population. You need to be aware of your emotional states and engage with material that enhances emotional intelligence if you want to achieve that. Understand what stresses you out in your important life most of all. In order to avoid chronic stress in the long run, you should try to remove everything from your life that stresses you out on a daily basis. Step 2. Rather than depending entirely on willpower to change behaviors, it seems to be more beneficial to alter your environment. Therefore, it seems beneficial to control your environment, including the people you live with, if you wish to stop drinking, smoking, or consuming pornography, or break some dysfunctional habits. The people you live with frequently act as catalysts for your addictive behaviors and dysfunctional routines. Step 3. The limbic areas and the prefrontal cortex collaborate. For those who don't know, the prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain in charge of reasoning, planning, and executive processes. A well-developed area of the brain appears to be beneficial. This portion of the brain collaborates with the limbic system, which is made up of several regions that work together to control your emotions. Like a seesaw, these two regions interact and balance one another, favoring emotional activity at times and rational reasoning at other times. Excessive rationalism doesn't seem as useful because, contrary to what many people say, emotions play an important role in our decision-making. If you receive negative input but don't experience those negative emotions, for instance, it can be difficult to change your behavior. If you don't feel bad about it, the likelihood of changing your behavior is decreased when you receive criticism from an employer, partner, girlfriend, family member, or about anything wrong you did. This is frequently seen in psychopathy instances. Emotions are therefore crucial for decision-making, but you shouldn't let them rule you. Plus, having an active prefrontal cortex is important. Keeping an emotions diary is a great beginning point to achieve this. As you organize your emotions throughout the day, keeping an emotions diary will enhance your emotional intelligence. Create a diary if you want to give it a try. At the end of each day, record how your act went and how it affected your emotional health. Step 4. You have a plastic brain. What is meant by that? As you expose yourself to experiences, it evolves. Your brain's neural circuits, which are made up of neurons or individual brain cells, adjust to new stimuli as you experience them. Because of this, using drugs, for example, can alter your reward circuits, making you seek the drug once again. Any additional behavior is subject to the same rules. Depending on your previous experience in the gym environment, you might or might not be more likely to return. Therefore, the outcome of our behavior, pay close attention to this phrase, determines the likelihood that that behavior will occur again. You won't do it again, for instance, if you accidentally shocked yourself when you put your finger in an electrical socket. If you went out with someone and that person wounded you in some way, the likelihood of not going out with them again is high, unless you can clearly show how they helped you at another time. You can better influence your behavior in the desired direction by understanding that your brain is plastic. In order for you to keep repeating that behavior, it is beneficial that the experience of a new face is enjoyable and reinforcing for you. Step 5. Selfishness or altruism did not evolve in us. To respond to the context in which we have evolved. There are certain environments that can accentuate your negative traits. Because people can trigger tendencies you have but often despise, use extreme caution when it comes to context and surroundings, especially the people you associate with. Many paths, individual living in a time period, or with individuals who lead them down a path of negative behavior end up with equally negative behaviors. People frequently begin to see themselves as bad, judge themselves as bad, and criticize themselves as bad when, in reality, they are just in the wrong environment, since our environment molds our behavior and we are the average of the people we spend the most time with. Therefore, take care of your environment and try to live in more adaptable settings wherever you can, especially with other people. Step 6. Poor sleep will have a severe negative impact on your productivity. You'll probably be less productive, more impulsive, and more likely to engage in undesirable activities if you don't get enough sleep. There are many explanations for this, but the primary one is that your brain gets chemically contaminated when you have trouble sleeping. For adults and adolescents, what is a good night's sleep? It's usually 7 to 9 hours of high-quality sleep every night, which means not waking up frequently at night. I won't go into detail on good sleep hygiene here, but it's necessary to achieve this. Please leave a comment below if you would want a specific video about maintaining good sleep hygiene. Therefore, prioritize getting enough sleep, since, contrary to what some people claim online, it is not a waste of time. Take care of yourself. Step 7. Physical exercise is beneficial for the brain, which is a part of the body, as well as the body. Numerous studies and nearly universal agreement in psychology and neuroscience indicate that physical exercise of any kind, while aerobic activities are the most researched, significantly improves emotional control, self-esteem, and the chemical soup that produces emotions in you. Money is important, so move on to step 8. People who say money is unimportant are delusional. But the joy that comes with money levels out after a while and at a certain point. Having good relationships is the phenomenon that most predicts happiness in a person's life, meaning that the behavior you engage in today is most likely to ensure happiness in the future. It's still a bit murky, and we must admit that there isn't a lot of clarity in the studies. It is more important to have high-quality relationships than a large number of them. Happiness in old age, adulthood, and beyond is predicted by good relationships. Numerous longitudinal studies that have followed people over the course of their lifetimes have found that those with supportive networks and good relationships were more likely to be happy in their older years. Step 9. Lastly, it's interesting to note that you are more motivated, dopaminergic, and fired up to pursue your goals during the day. However, it's equally important to pause at night and give thanks for the things you've accomplished during the day. Of course, this idea of day and night is a metaphor. It could allude to various stages of life, your week, or your weekends. What I'm trying to say with this line of thinking is that it's extremely beneficial for your mental health to experience motivated peaks, to seek what you want, and to feel genuine gratitude for what you've already achieved. Therefore, it's crucial that you have the desire to go after the oranges, or in other words, basic drive, if you're reaching for those oranges across the river. However, you must feel genuine gratitude for reaching that goal once you have the oranges. I'm not talking about petty happiness here. Rather, I'm talking about a genuine sense of gratitude and fulfillment for reaching your goals. You have seen that there are no magic tricks to outperform 99% of people. Only signs from the disciplines of psychology and neuroscience can help you rise above and outperform 99% of people in factitude. You'll notice that I never said you'd make more money, get stronger, live in a nicer home, or purchase a Ferrari at any point. I'm only suggesting that having the mental health to undertake jobs that give your life meaning means being better than 99% of the population of the world. Even with wealth, life remains meaningless if you chase things without purpose. So, if you want to be better than 99% of the world, all you need to understand is that contentment is found in the little things.